Welcome to the Sound Mind podcast, where I invite interesting guests from the music field and discuss with them topics such as musical and personal growth, pursuing excellence and self-talk, body and mind maintenance, practice and work routines, music business, and more. I'm your host, Michael Krustel, and welcome to the Sound Mind podcast. Hello, dear listeners and viewers. On today's episode, my guest is Josep Garcés. He started off as an engineer that later transferred to music, and now combines the two through his products that are Live Loop and Music Moon. Music Moon is especially interesting because it will enable musicians to upload their music to Music Moon and then turn it into NFTs. During our conversation, we will discuss crypto, NFTs, and the potential it has in the music business, as well as fasting, the controversial urine therapy, and the power of healing frequencies. I hope that you get inspired by the topics that we will discuss and that you will have fun. Hello, dear Josep, and thanks for being my guest on the Sound Mind podcast. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah. So I have so many questions. I don't know where to actually start, but maybe just for the framework, I've actually met you through music. We were in some Indian Bollywood cover band, like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And then, our paths went different spaces, and, we sometimes catch up through Messenger or something. I see you doing cool stuff, and then, we chat a bit, especially I know that you're also into the barefoot walking. I think that's the topic where we probably connect the most, and the benefits about it. As far as I know, so you were first studying music, you were in Spain studying graphic.
No. Completely. I can't explain a little bit about my background. I'm an engineer, actually.
Okay.
So my background is engineering, and I studied in Spain engineering. And the reason I went to the Netherlands, I went to work as an engineer, and I work for multinationals. I was always in research and development. But I have been always doing music. I wouldn't say at the side, but in parallel. But as you know, making a living out of music is hard. But my heart was very attached to music. So So when I was in Netherlands, also working, I also always searched for reasons to make music. So I had this opportunity to be in this cover band when we met. And always after work, I was playing music. And how it went into, because I'm into technology and music, and I think this is the interesting part here, is after working in Netherlands for big companies, I'm talking like Philips, I'm talking like ASML, I'm talking like leading big projects, I decided to quit my job and follow my dream, which was making music. So then I applied for a master's in the Conservatory of Amsterdam, and I got accepted into the Life Electronics master's. So I can say I'm very proud of this achievement, because I think I have been the first student in the Conservatory of Amsterdam who got into the master without a bachelor in music. So, but because I got it into my side. I mean, I always had teachers. Well, anyway, I don't think this is really important, but I think it was a big achievement. So during my master's, I started developing. Well, I was doing looping, with pedals. First of all, looping. I was amazed. I was like, wow, looping is the best thing in the world. I thought wow. The first time I saw, I don't know if you know DubFX. DubFX is a musician from. It was very famous 10 years ago.
Mm.
He was doing loops on the streets, and he was very famous. And I was like, wow, I want to do this. Anyway, so I was into looping, and when I got into the masters, I have this subject about programming with Max MSP. I don't know if you heard about that software programming. And I was like, when I saw the possibilities you could do with that, my mind exploded. Like, wow, I can do anything I wanted to. I mean, I just saw like everything I could do with music. I wanted to do with music, I could do. So I started developing Live Loop. That Live Loop is, for those who doesn't know, is like a looping software. You can check it in liveloop.live. And so Live Loop was was a software. It was like what my gear I had with pedals. I wanted to make it all in the computer, so I programmed this software. So this is where the path where music and technology, with my two both passions, they met together with Live Loop.
Yeah,
So
I was curious about because I saw when you started develop the live loops, and we were in touch a couple of times, and I was like, man, I really would like to try it, but I was never so much into looping, you know. I would maybe put it somewhere in between, like more of a texture kind of thing, but I never really did when playing solo to really, you know, do layers and layers and that. But yeah, I checked it out. And you say that it was the other program helped you to develop this one, or it was like just a spark of inspiration,
No, it was a spark of inspiration. I had some gear, some pedals, and then I kind of, the first thing I developed was my pedal into the software, but this was done in few months. And after that, I just started developing new features, like all the features I could imagine that you could do with looping. So yeah, that was how it started.
Yeah.
And yeah, so after, yeah, regarding the loops, yeah, it's a different way of making music. It's when you are making loops, you think vertically. When like when you are playing like music, normally you think horizontally, but with looping, in composition you think vertically. And as you said, you think in textures. It's a different way of composing. So I was very much attached to this because you could do loops. Like I could hear a loop of it could hear for hours, and it's like, man, this sounds great. And also something interesting I did with Live Loop is the ability to make loops, but they don't appear like loops, like making polyrhythms. So you can make loops of different lengths. So yeah, I believe Live Loop is still the most advanced tool for making loops, and I still working on this. And yeah, and now.
And are you working on is Live Loop a one-man job? Are you the only developer, or is it like, do you have a team behind?
It's one-man job. And I can say this has been the craziest work I have ever done. Like hours and hours of work. This was a work of love and a work of obsession for music. And a love for a dream. I wanted to achieve a dream, which I'm still on it. Because yeah, it's hard to do. I mean, I'm working with this software like for 7 years, even a little bit more since I started developing it. And I launched it like 5 years ago, even a little bit more. And yeah, I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
On not so okay. Now is how we can go to Music Moon. So yeah, so I developed the software. The software works great. I have some users. But I am not the best into marketing. So, I mean, I'm a developer, I'm an engineer, and a musician. So I hate like doing sales and stuff like this. But I love developing. And so about a few months ago, almost a year ago, yeah, last summer, I started researching about blockchain and about NFTs and then I had this idea like, okay, how can I use Live Loop? How can I use what my work on Live Loop into this new world of blockchain and NFTs, royalties? So I developed Music Moon. Before it was called Loop NFT. It was a transition. So the idea of Loop NFT was making music with live loop, and then you could mint it into NFTs. So for those who are not familiar with this, is NFT. You can, if you make an NFT with your music, it's like you are making you are making royalties with your music, decentralized. You don't need to go to any discography or any label or anything. You own your music, and so I do believe this is the future. So yeah,
like to then upload the so because I already have some questions. So you as a musician, you would record a piece of a loop, for example. Like that, does it is it one layer, or is it like a compositional vertical
no,
situation?
you compose any music, any kind of music. You can compose any music, but you don't need to do it with live loop to use Music Moon. The idea was like I can make music, I can record music with live loop in a way. In live loop, you can record your session, you can play a song and you can record it, or you can record a concert, anything, and then you can use this file, this audio file, and go to Music Moon, and then it's called mint it into NFT. So it's like making it into the blockchain. So then this piece of file, this music, it belongs to you. So you own rights for that. So this is what about Web3 is, and about what is blockchain and NFT. It's like crypto. It's a new world. I don't know if you are aware about. I know much about this, but it's something. It's the new internet. Let's say that's why it's called Web3, because now we are using Web2, where we are using servers, but Web3, everything is decentralized. And other technology. I'm making this technology, so being able to any musician to have their music to have rights of their music without any intermediary.
And the Web3 is still in the making, if I understand, because we're now using Web2, right? So
yeah,
I suspect when Web3 will launch, then also the benefits of the Music Moon and putting your music into an NFT will be more beneficial. Because I suspect right now it's is it already something, or is it still so that the infrastructure of Web3 develops and then it can be used, or can you?
Yeah, let's say with Web3 we are like in the 90s when Web1 started with the internet. It's like very there are some applications, and it's already existed, but it works different than the normal internet. You need a wallet, you buy with different kind of money, with crypto money. It's decentralized. So it's already launched, but very few people are using it. And now my work of doing this now, because I have this Music Moon, actually this week it will be launched, the MVP, the minimum value product. But I need to educate musicians. What is Web3? What is an NFT? What can they do with that? So it's a lot of work. But yeah, I suspect when we are gonna be more familiar with Web3, and musicians will be more familiar with NFTs, this can explode. I believe, and it's good because I'm getting a lot of support from the community, and I'm getting grants actually to build this platform.
Wow!
So it's going pretty great.
Yeah, because I've seen that. Recently, you were on a hackathon, or a couple even. Can you tell me what is a hackathon? I think also the people here are not really aware. What is a hackathon? Because it sounds like a marathon, but hacking.
Yeah. So hackathons are organized. I mean, in blockchain, in Web3, there are different blockchains. Okay, I mean, you have Ethereum, you have Polkadot, you have Tron, you have several. So when you build something for, I mean, this is like, let's say these blockchains, they need projects. They need projects to run. So I have a project, so I can develop my project into their chain. And so they offer what a hackathon is. They open like a prize. Okay, we have, for example, in Seoul, I actually won several hackathons. In Seoul, I was the first one. It was in Polkadot. I developed for Polkadot. Polkadot is one of the chains. and yeah, I got the first prize with Music Moon. Then it's another chain in it's called Tron. We also got the first prize, and it's quite some good money. I mean, in Seoul, I think it was 18K dollars, and in Tron it was 30K. So I mean, with this money, I mean, I have a team developing this. I mean, Live Loop, it was a one-man job, but Music Moon, I learned my lesson. In Music Moon, I have a good team, and I have developers, I have designers, and with this money, I'm just developing this software. And also because I won in Seoul in Polkadot, I was invited to be 5 weeks in Hong Kong in a blockchain academy, Polkadot blockchain academy. I just recently came like a few weeks ago. So this world of blockchain is like, yeah, it's new for me as well, but I'm seeing a new world. I see like this parallel economy to the economy we know.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's completely also the money is I mean then the Polkadot is, I suspect, it's a currency, right? It's like a euro or dollar. You have
Yeah.
like Polkadot and Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? These are all, and then each how should I say, each currency makes its own kind of hackathons or like
exactly. Yes, this is how it works. Yeah. So
And
right now, yeah, you have questions?
yeah, do you have a preferred currency, or how do you see that? Like, because
Yeah.
I'm very suspicious about it. I trust, but I'm not a pro, but I trust like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and everything else is like, okay, cool.
You have to be careful. Yeah, because this is very decentralized. It can sound like the anarchy of the internet. So there is a lot of it has been, and there is still some speculation. But it's like the beginning of the internet. The beginning of the internet, there was a lot of scams. If you remember, in the 90s and the beginning of the 2000,
And
but
still there are, right? You can still get
exactly.
Totally
so, but with Web3, that's the thing. Like, it's we need to develop it. But yes, there are few that you can trust. You can trust, as you say, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot are trust. There are some that are you can trust. So right now, how I decide which chains I go. So I already learned. So I have already built on Polkadot. Now I'm just go to the other chains and I ask them for funds. Hey, do you want Music Moon to be in your blockchain? Give me some funds and I will develop it. Actually, last week, a company is called Allfit. It's a blockchain from France. I had no idea about it. I don't know how trustful they are. They are French, but they asked me to build Music Moon into their chain, and they will give me some grants. So yeah, I think that's trustful. I mean, I will do this. So how I decide now which chains I go? So the ones that give me money. It's as simple as that.
Of course, because you can then develop and invest it in your company. Like that's the way to go, right?
Yeah. So right now with Music Moon, I have two jobs. One job is educating musicians and saying to musicians, go to Music Moon, and then developing in different chains. So there are the two sides of the work I am doing now.
Wow. And so you could potentially record like, I don't know, 15 seconds of a guitar riff and then upload it to Music Moon and you as the artist, you set a price. And is it also like, okay, two questions. So do you as an artist decide for a price, and then is it also like that when it's bought, it's then sold at higher value, like the NFT artwork is?
I mean, if I can buy it, you can sell it for 10 euros, for example, and I can buy it and sell it for 1,000,
Yeah.
So, and it's very interesting. But also, in the way I am doing it, if you upload it, you always have rights. So if somebody buys from you, you still have rights from that. So somebody sells it, you always get a percentage.
Oh.
So it's a different way of seeing music. It's a
And what is the
Yeah.
percentage decided on? Like how do you see what is the percentage threshold that
You decide all this. You decide
Oh.
how much you want to earn from your NFT, and you can say, okay, I made this song 50. I can make 50 parts of it. People can buy it. Imagine I listen to your music and I say, oh, this is gonna be a hit. I'm gonna buy it for 100 euros. For example, you've made a song with for 100 euros, and this become a hit. Then I have part of this royalty. You know.
Mm,
So this is
wow.
how NFT works.
Holy
So this
moly.
is yeah, this is interesting because musicians. This is a new market for musicians, and
Yeah.
it's a new market that yeah. When I heard about this, I say yeah. I immediately see. So this is the future because I don't know. You're a musician. How hard? I mean, and you are a great musician. I really respect you as a musician. You know how hard is making money with music. Why is possible? And going to labels is not I mean it doesn't help anyway. So I think the new economy in music is going to be this. I truly believe this is going to be the future. So that's why I'm working on this.
And I think it also then works in favor of, you know, actually the modern musician, which is everything, you know. So if you do the music, you record, and then actually this is, you know, this is your feature. I mean, this is working in your finally completely in your in your favor, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing is that it's decentralized. There is no, if you go to a label, they get percentage. Here it's not like that. You own everything.
Yeah. I mean, I also release music without I have my own label, and I just release music through that. I never really had a contract with anyone, and I feel there's a huge power in that you have all the rights, which is also gonna be exactly in on the platform. And I really, that's something what to me is really something. Wow, that's great. Um, and okay, now a little bit on the side, I also read that you're into like healing properties of some frequencies, like
Yeah.
the how you call them, the gamma sound wave. Is that
Wow, yeah. Well, all there's a big range. I don't know. For I can give a quick introduction to brain waves, what it is. So our brain works in different frequencies, from delta, theta, alpha, beta, gamma, and hypergamma. So that depends of the activity of our brains. For example, when we are sleeping, our brain is in delta, this is like between 0.5 to 3.5 frequencies, Earth frequencies, yeah. And then there is when you are waking up, your brain stays into theta, and also kids are into theta. It's between 4 and 7.5. And this state is like when you get hypnosis, your brain is in these frequencies. And also it's the frequency of the brain where you are retaining a lot of information. Then you go to alpha. Alpha state is like when you are relaxed. It's a alpha state is between 8 and 13. Then it goes to beta. Beta is normal. Frequencies is when you are working, when you are doing something. Actually, when you are doing something mechanically, you are not very or you are focused, but yeah, your work, you are going to one place, you are going shopping. And then what interested for me is about the gamma. The gamma is when the brain goes crazy. And so there have been some studies with big meditators that their brain goes into hypergamma, like 200 Hertz. This is a lot. So I discovered like around 10 years ago, I think this was something like that. I was working as an engineer, and yeah, I was in front of the computer all the time, just doing some designs and work. And yeah, I start reading about this. So I start, I mean, the thing is that you can, how this works, you can, with sounds, you can synchronize these waves. So you can, with sound, you can say, okay, I want to go I want to relax. So I'm gonna put alpha waves or theta waves, or I want to be more active. So you put beta waves or you put gamma waves. But the interesting part is normally our brain never goes to gamma. It's very difficult. It's only when you have this aha moment or is very focused on something, like when you are practicing guitar and everything is flowing, you probably there you are in gamma. So I was very interested into this state. So I started listening to that music, to that frequencies, and so yeah, I was working on that, and I actually literally quit drinking coffee because of this way, because I was so active and I was so concentrated. So yeah, and I was for some years I was listening to binaural beats. This is called binaural beats, all the time, all the time. So until the point I started.
Like you would work and do and have headphones in your ears and just play the, I don't know, 90 hertz frequency or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then I started researching also which frequencies are best, because they are different frequencies. It's not the same being in 45 hertz that being in 50. Or I mean, there are some numbers, and this is a little bit of esoteric knowledge, I would say, but numbers that there are some numbers. I would say I would call it, for people to understand, Tesla numbers that they resolve into 9, 3, 6, and 9. This is another subject, perhaps, to talk about it. It's quite complex mathematically, but there are some numbers that really works well with the body. So, for example, one of these numbers, I started working with 360 hertz. 360 hertz. I start listening to this frequency, and I felt that my brain, like, it stimulates the workflow of the blood. The blood, it stimulates the blood circulation. So I can say, well, I used to use glasses, and when I was listening to this frequency, I could feel how my eyesight was better. Well, I could see better. So I started listening to this until I actually healed my eyesight. I stopped using glasses from that.
What? Really?
And then, okay, this sounds crazy, but scientifically, I can tell you how this works.
Yeah.
Frequencies move certain parts of the body, and apparently this frequency stimulates the blood circulation, and the blood circulation is what makes healing in the body. So then there are my favorite frequencies is like 528. The 528, this is very interesting for you, because 528 is the frequency of love. It's the highest frequency a human being can vibrate. And interesting part, if you tune your guitar A to 444, if you put A444, it results in C, the root note, in 528. So I mean, actually, I now I'm playing flute. So and I'm tuning to 444. Everything I'm tuned to 444. It's most musicians, jazz musicians, I think they tune to 440. Classical musicians, they tune to 442 mostly. But I always say, no, 444 is the real shit. It's the real frequency. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference. I can say it makes a difference.
Because also, so for me, it also depends on the instrument that I play. Like, I have one guitar where if I tune the A to 430 hertz, it sounds really amazing. Like, and then it's almost close to A flat. It's basically kind of A flat even. But man, it makes the whole instrument and the vibration to the body completely mesmerizing, and
yeah.
I think you mentioned, it's then when you play, you transform, you kind of translate that frequency to your body just by playing it, right? So I suspect then you would put a root somewhere, like a drone on C or something, and then jam on top. Or how do then these sessions, can you give an example then? How do you then play with a flute, or self treatment? How would you do that, for example?
Well, what I've thought a lot is like if I want to study scale, so I just put like the root note into the frequency I want, and then I play the scale with the root note on that certain frequency. So this is how I would do it. But yeah, it makes sense what you are saying. Like each instrument also because of the it can resonate better with some frequencies than others. But what I would say is, so if all the instruments now it should be tuned to 444. This is what I believe it should happen. Okay. So yeah, and then the music I make like we're talking about the I do breath work, and I do also breatharian workshops, and I call them the workshop breatharian and resonance. Resonance is because I want to breathe, and then I do this exercise of resonate, and then I put speakers in the room with the people, with the students that are with me, and we resonate with that frequency, and we do this for about 45 minutes to 1 hour, and then you end up doing the breath work, and then resonating with those frequencies. And as we are water cells resonate. If you put frequencies to water, you will see how it makes shapes, right? So it does the same to us. We are 80% water, so these frequencies they structure our cells, and it makes you feel better. It heals some parts, and the cells that are not healthy, they don't structure, so they leave the body.
Yeah.
So this is the work I do with the frequencies.
And I even find that without knowing a frequency or something, already just singing makes you feel good. Like I found that many times that I would just be singing a song and then it would take me, and I would be for half an hour or an hour just singing, and I become a different person. I become a way kinder person, and I never like thought about it in that way. But now that you're saying this, it all makes sense, because I was wondering like what's happening here, like something ignites inside of us, the vibration, because we're producing our own sound then, right?
Yeah. I mean, what do you think the Gregory chants are? They are frequency chanting in the charts. I mean, this is not new knowledge. This is ancient knowledge. Gregorian chants, they were like, and for example, there is one song I listened once in the charts. It's like this: Santo, Santo, Santo es el Señor, Dios del universo. Then I started realizing when I was singing this, my body was resonating hard, and in the charts was even harder. I was like, wow. I mean, these people, they are not doing this for nothing. They know these songs, they know this, they know this is good for the body. And I realized it happened that I went once, and then I listened to this song, and I was like obsessed with that song. I'm not even religious, but I was like, man, this song is doing something to my body. So I learned it, and I sing it a lot, because it made me feel good, like a mantra, And something I do this, you will like this. When I go I like cold showers as well. So I go to the cold showers and I sing with this, and I count how many times I can sing it. So the many times I can sing it, okay, I can sing it 5 times now. It's so I can stay longer. So yeah, it's music resonance frequency. Really, that is something important in our body and health. It's something that we should take more care about it, and it's not new knowledge, as I said before the 1920s. This was known knowledge, but then it came. This is another subject, but the new medicine remove of that knowledge into the pills and vaccines and everything. But there are other ways of treatment that are more resonating with the human and more natural with frequencies.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe now we can also move into because we mentioned the healing with the sound, right? And the healing aspects. Maybe we can check out a bit the fasting, and I know that you are also into that, right? We've talked about, and you fasted for several days, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've been, let's say, 4 years ago, I learned this knowledge. I never questioned myself that food would harm you. I mean, I knew about eating good was healthy, but I didn't really know that what about that. So how actually, before I started fasting, we can go to the part where I learned about urine therapy, which actually water drinking. It's actually water that your body is creating.
Yeah.
Um, so, well, I was into this knowledge about the frequencies and about the water structuring and about all this. So I started researching about. Let's first, before going to the fasting, I will go to the urine thing,
Okay,
because
so
I was using these songs, these frequencies to structure myself and to structure water. So there is this book. It's called The Fourth Phase of Water. It's a very famous book. I mean, water is the most unknown science now. It's very difficult to understand how water and how flow works. And so I start drinking my urine. This is because I felt that your body is structuring this water. Then when you drink it, you start structuring yourself. It's kind of self thing. And then I also start studying why you urinating. And there are two ways you make urine. One is because you have excess. So if you drink a lot of water, your body says, hey, it's too much water, I need to take it out. But the second part is creation. The second part is like, hey, I'm creating this for you because you need it now.
oh.
So sometimes you are fasting. So that is how I came into fasting, because I started to drinking. I started structuring myself by drinking my urine, and then I realized I didn't want to eat, because then you are not any food you put in your body, you are giving this energy, you are giving this vibration. So
So not from the sense that it's causing you stress and sense of that your body has to work to digest food, but you're saying that you avoided it because it was because it was not produced by a certain frequency, or what?
Yeah, also. But I mean, this is very complex subject. Yeah. How can I put this? So, what? Yeah, let's say, first of all, I was searching. Okay, how I started this path, I was sick. I can say I was sick. I wasn't digesting. I mean, I didn't one day just woke up, I just drink my urine. No, it wasn't like that. It was first I heard about it like some years ago, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I'm not gonna do that. This is crazy, too crazy. But then I was into, I had some crisis in healing crisis. I had some rashes in my face, like very bad. And that actually was the time I was in Netherlands, and we were around together there in Codarts. And for 2 years, I had like my face with a lot of rashes and really bad. So I was researching what is wrong in my body, what is wrong. So then I realized, yes, my body was toxic for many years of bad habits, as bad habits for me were normal, eating normal food, but toxic food, and thinking that was a good thing. Anyway, so I realized a moment I couldn't digest good, and I started researching, and I came across this urine therapy. So one day I researched a lot about it, and I remember that day in the night, I just pee on a glass, and I said, okay, let's do this. I took one sip of that, and immediately I was like, what the fuck? Like, it didn't taste bad. it wasn't horrible. It was like, man, my body was craving for this. Like it was craving for this. Like I could drink 1 liter immediately. Like wow. And then I start feeling this spiritual awakening. You know, I start feeling like I could meditate longer. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, I'm a big fan of this.
How,
So I just
I have a sub question. What do you mean when you say I could meditate longer? Like what do you feel?
generally I was more relaxed. I was
Okay.
more connected to everything, more feeling of your consciousness immediately changes when you do this. Immediately changes. I mean, you start realizing that you are a self-sustainable being. That's the cool part. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can go to this conversation very deep, but I don't know how deep we can go. But yeah, let's.
Yeah, please do. I'm really curious about this, and thanks for opening up about this. I suspect it can be I mean, it's not so common
Yeah.
that people do this, you know. So please go ahead and.
Yeah, well, I'm already doing it for 4 years. In March, it's gonna be 4 years. I remember when I remember how it started. And yeah, I'm open. At the beginning, I didn't want to talk about this actually, and my girlfriend at the time didn't like that. I had one interview once, and I had to. Yeah. Anyway, that's fine. I like it. I think it's good to talk about this. I think we are living a new paradigm. A lot of people are waking up to new therapies. So
Exactly.
this is
Especially if you solved a problem that was hurting you, you know. I think that's the bottom line that people should get to, especially when life puts you or health or your health is compromised. You should do research. Like you should get deep into it. Like fuck, there's rashes showing up on my body, or I have diarrhea every morning, or I don't know, my toes or fingers are swelling up. Like people should d- discover themselves and see what works for them, you know, be it urinotherapy. Previous session I had a conversation with a friend of mine who cured his illness of muscles, with problem with muscles, with being only on fruit, you know. And it's like it's
yeah.
and usually the funny thing is that usually the solutions are very simple. Like it's not like complicated pills that you have to say it's take. It's not a cocktail of paracetamol and ibuprofen that you have to take. It comes down to the freaking simple stuff. So I'm very curious, and
Yeah.
thanks
I
for
mean,
sharing this.
yeah, I'm gonna tell something because health is so simple. It's so simple. I mean, the reason we get sick is because we have a structure. We have our pipes are blocked. Basically, if you continue eating and you don't go to the toilet enough times, actually, you should go to the toilet as many times as you eat. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. If you keep eating and you don't go to the toilet, you keep. Why people have bellies? I mean, a belly is not more than poo extract in your colon, in your intestines. It's not fat. It's just poo, man, inside of your body. So when you have that, you start having all kind of sickness, and then you take drugs to. I mean, the drugs are only to mask the symptoms. So what I realized, what urine therapy does, is just cleaning. It's just cleaning your body, and you can just loop. You can just keep drinking your urine. It's cleaning your intestines. It's cleaning all your stomach. It's cleaning everything. When you start doing this, you will realize you will go to the toilet a lot, like a lot, and you will realize. I mean, I was fasting for 21 days. Can you believe the day 20 I was still going to the toilet? And I was like, how the fuck? Yeah, 20 days I was still flushing toilet.
No
Still
way.
point.
No
Yeah,
way.
man. Yeah. So then you realize what the fuck is in my colon. Yeah, yeah. I mean, do it, and you will realize. I mean, then yeah, after 20 days, yes, I was like, where is this coming from? I have not eaten, you know. And actually, it was the worst one. The next day, I started eating because I was like, man, it was like, well, this is another subject, but yes.
And how? Okay, can I? Sorry that I'm interrupting you, but so you didn't eat for 21 days, only flushing, and poop was still coming out. Like
yeah, Yeah. Still, I would. The only thing I did for 20 days, I was drinking all my urine.
And no
Was
water,
the
like no
no
water.
water. No. Urine is the highest water you can ever drink. Yeah, and actually, this let's go deeper into science. Water is H2O, right? Urine is H3O. It has one more element of hydrogen. Hydrogen is life. Hydrogen is in the chemistry. Is the number one element. You know, everything is hydrogen. We need
And
hydrogen.
should you wait after a meal, or like that you eat healthy diet before you start your urinotherapy? Because I don't know, I suspect if you eat shitty food and you start chugging your own pee, might be a problem.
You should start as soon as possible. People, this is the question a lot of people. Should I first clean myself before? No. The way to clean yourself is drinking your urine. Wow. Actually, because your body is so smart that is creating this for you to clean yourself. You know.
And did you also how was your well-being? Where you probably became way skinnier in these 21 days?
Wow. Yes. I mean, if you would see me, I look at myself pictures of that time. I mean, you don't look healthy, but because you are healing, you are cleaning yourself. You are not. I mean, suddenly, I mean, after 30 years or 30 something years eating every day, drinking coffee, drinking alcohol, whatever thing I was doing before. Then suddenly you stop all of that and you start thinking your body. Your body is like, okay, now I'm gonna start cleaning. And what I experience, any sickness is not, you don't get sick. Sickness means your body is cleaning. And when your body is cleaning, is a very horrible, I don't know, there is a name for that, but it's very hard feeling. You know, I mean, when your body is detoxifying, I mean, when there is a cold, when you get a cold and you have a lot of mucuses, it's not that you are sick. Like your body is rejecting mucus, is cleaning itself, and you feel bad. So yeah, I mean, there is this part where you feel you have lack of energy at the beginning, but everything it changes. It with urine therapy, I can say you need long term to see results. You know, and I remember after the second year 2 of March of 2023 would be 2022. I don't remember. 2022. I was 2 years on urine therapy. I was like, wow, it's getting better and better because you become a superior being. Actually, you become healthier. You become younger. You don't age. What things I can say? I start growing more hair when I was onto urine therapy. I start doing things that I couldn't do before. I was doing yoga before, and after the urine therapy, I could be better at yoga. I was more flexible. Hunger disappears. I realized what hunger is. Hunger is not more than your intestines, your stomach healing, and it gives you a sense of you need to eat something. But so there is when it comes into fasting. So yeah, I don't know. It's very you can go very deep, but yeah, the longer you go, the better. And actually, heard is there is this Indian. I mean, this is in Ayurveda. They already use this, and there is this Vedas that they said if you drink your urine for 7 years, everything you become immortal. Like you become or renew, or yourself renew, and you are like a baby. And I felt that. You know, when I felt my skin is. I mean, I don't know if you can see on the camera well, but yeah. I know people that are 25 years old that are much worse than me.
How old are you, by the way?
38.
38. Wow, man! Holy moly! Crazy. Yeah.
So
You
this
look
is what
good.
I'm talking about. I start feeling that I rejuvenating myself. So,
Mm.
and how I started this also is the path to immortality. This is wow. The thing is, I said we can go very deep on this, but then there is this game of life that it like living is dying. So you need to keep dying yourself, eating, because you cannot. I was interested into just live from breathing and from urine. That is possible. You can live from that, but your consciousness changes. There is this density of the body that also changes, and we are talking now again about resonance and frequencies. So if you eat only fruits, for example, you become less dense, so you vibrate higher. If the vibration of your body depends on what you eat. Well, it depends on more things, but the food is one of the most relevant subjects. So I was this period where I was fasting a lot, only eating fruits and drinking my urine. I was so high vibration, so high consciousness. But when you reach to that level, I was yeah, okay, I achieved this, but it's very hard to have a normal life because your desires are different that most people. It's I mean I was alone for a very long time doing this, and then also I decided at some point like, okay, I'm gonna eat more. So yeah, but I am in this battle every single day. I'm in this battle of should I eat today, should I fast today. But yeah, because
Yeah.
of work, if I want to keep working and to keep developing my stuff and to play music, I need to actually eat and feel material and feel this, which is not a bad thing, but it's a learning process. And now the urine, I use it like just to keep myself in the highest state of health I can ever be.
Mm-hmm.
If you eat wrong, you say, I eat wrong today, I shouldn't have eaten this, I feel bad. And then you urinate, you just drink that and you will see how like, okay, I'm fine now again. It's like your
Mm-hmm.
body is very smart.
So you would
Yeah.
then also take care for your food. Would you then also do you eat everything or do you focus on one food group, like fruit?
Wow, I've done everything. Right now I eat everything. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
since few months ago, it's recent. But I've been consistent. I was vegan for 7 years, like not making any exception. And I was raw vegan for 3 years, not eating anything cooked. But then I got this state. I was telling you, like I mean, I when you are in this state and then you are in an environment where the frequency are lower, I was getting stressed because I was like fighting for the high frequency, but the frequencies. So I started eating food when I was going with friends or with family, mostly with family. I was going home. My parents were like cooking something, and I would eat this to set a frequency. And right now, I can say that I eat everything.
Mm-hmm.
I try to eat healthy
Yeah.
and try to eat to not eat so like there are some groups that are better than others. I used to think meat is really bad, and I recently started eating meat again. And what I consider, uh, yeah, what I do believe the best diet for humans are the paleo ones, and that is previous agriculture. This is what my feeling is telling me
No.
of health. And when I eat foods high in carbs or like bread and things like this is not good for me. But like simple foods like fruits or like yeah, meat. Like also depends with meat. I try to avoid pork because pork is like eating like human meat. It's yeah, this is my, but yeah, as I said, I don't know. I recently started eating meat, and
Mm-hmm.
after 7 years not eating meat, I still feel embarrassed to say that I started eating meat. But yeah,
Yeah.
I can say I feel. It's not that you need it for living. It's not that I need it. It's not a need. but I realized it gives me uh, um, a kind of force that gives me like keeps me going, keeps me wanting to
Yeah.
work, keeps me wanting to do things, you know. And the other way, when I was raw vegan, eating only once a day, and I only wanted to meditate, I would sit on the sun for hours and hours and hours. I don't care. I wouldn't care about anything else. So, and then I started to say, okay, let's do. Life is something to do. I mean, I want to build something. So this
Mm-hmm.
is how my I changed back
Yeah.
to eat good food, and also to enjoy, because eating is a pleasure. It's not a
Yeah.
necessity. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure. And yeah, it's so I started doing this, but now I'm more conscious, and I eat once a day. Today I only ate once.
Yeah.
Perhaps tonight I will eat some fruits, just because it helps me sleeping. If I don't eat, I don't sleep. That
Yeah.
is hard.
I
Yeah.
um I also note, like, for me, I had huge migraines when I left, when I came to the Netherlands, and when during my being a teenager and a kid, I would always remember that I would have days like when I didn't even know that it's a migraine, that it's called a migraine. I would just know, okay, this is my life, right? Like, and the first was, okay, I noticed that I'm not drinking enough, and then I started drinking enough, and it was a bit better. And then, wow, I eat way too much bread, maybe, right? And that then became even nicer, you know. And then I was like, oh wow. And I think in my second year in the Netherlands, I was like, wow, I found this, that whatever you put in your body, like your body can benefit from it if you put good stuff, you know. But I became a little bit obsessed with it. So then I would like rather not eat at all than to put bad stuff inside of my body. And that was also not okay, because I was becoming skin and bone only. Like I was getting so skinny that when I would look myself in the mirror, I was like, oh shit, man, get yourself a sandwich, you know, or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
But it was the first time that I would like notice that I would also become more productive, like that I would not be as lazy or something. And then it was, I think it can be like, for me that was maybe the first step to a more wholesome life, you know, to see that food is, it was kind of a, how should I say, it opened the door to this whole world of self, working on yourself through different aspects, like we were talking, you know, like music, musical resonance, or food, or you know. But for example, I noticed that, because I really like to do sports a lot, like I train almost every day, and you know, work out in the gym, and then running, and you know, some heavy bag boxing, or boxing training. And I notice that I really need food for that. Like, and that I get these states of enlightenment, if you would say so, like really light and ease, and like, wow, man, this life is magical. I get through states of pushing my body through sports as well. So um I think it's so amazing that I would, because I would then be worried of what I eat, for example. But then now I'm at a place where, okay, I still watch out that I don't eat complete crap, but I think I eat all the groups. Like I would eat home baked bread, you know, like
Mm.
or the chicken, homegrown chickens. They hatch eggs for us, and the meat from the local, you know, the butcher, or the farm, the local farm or something. And I noticed that I can really eat everything, like you said, you know. But it's true that sometimes that my body gives me a sign, like, hey, maybe, have a meal now with only oranges, and or
Yeah.
something, you know. Like and that is so special, that I can feel like, maybe actually I'm gonna skip on lunch today, and I'm gonna eat this now. You know.
Mm. It's just listening to your body. Your body is telling you, and that's why they say to eat out everything. If you eat too much of one thing, it's not good. Also, I stopped eating bread for a very long time. Now, recently, I ate a little bit of bread aside of my meal, and yeah, it's it's okay.
Because
It's
you
okay.
went, I think also because you went through the self-healing, like that you cleaned your body of stuff. And I think it was just the threshold, in my opinion, because I think that's also something what I was dealing with, that you gave your body a chance to kind of, calibrate itself and heal itself, and now you're kind of on the norm, and that maybe we should, like, every once in a while fast. I think it should be a norm, because it's funny in the religious cultures. I mean, also here in Slovenia, we are hugely Christian, but we say a Friday, it's a fast, but what is a fast? And now what is a fast? Check it. It's you don't eat meat. Like, that's a fast.
But in the past, it was a
Yeah,
real fast.
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
Jesus
Connection to
Jesus was
God.
Jesus was fasting 40 days in the desert.
Yeah,
And this is the Quaresma.
yeah.
They call it in the Christian religions. The Muslims, they have how do you call it?
Ramadan,
The
right?
Ramadan. I don't know. All the cultures have that, but our Christian culture, they have evolved. Yeah, you don't need. But I believe in the past they were
And
really
check it.
fasting.
Yeah, I also believe that. I really think so. And I mean, I notice even after a 24-hour fast, it you feel so much lighter. And man,
Yeah, yeah.
the other thing is, so what is funny, so we would say you don't eat meat, but then they make fish.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, yeah. For me, fish is meat as well.
yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, but
yeah,
I think it would benefit. I think also the culture and the consciousness, the human consciousness, the collective consciousness would benefit if we would fast for a day.
yeah. Definitely, yes. But it's
I
hard
think
to do
we're gonna
it.
get banned.
No, it's hard to do it.
Yeah,
Actually, when I've been fasting for days, I was like, man, this is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. Yes, fasting is hard. I have done a lot of achievements in my life during my career and stuff, and I can say fasting is the hardest thing.
yeah,
It's consciousness. It's like, no, you don't need food. When you're hungry, it's like push yourself. No, you're not hungry, man. Just keep going. You're not hungry.
yeah,
It's a drug. We are addicted to food. Basically, it's that.
yeah.
This is what I learned.
Yeah, man. 21 days of fasting. I did 3, the most, and then I think if you
Man,
survive the night, I think the worst is in the night. Like,
yeah, but you're gonna sleep. That's the thing. You can't sleep. That's the
yeah.
worst thing.
And then if you
That's
go
for
to
me.
sleep, then I'm like, oh, great. And you know what I was dreaming of? So I was dreaming about food, but not any food. I was dreaming of fruit, man. I was,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah.
I was craving only fruit. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't crave any other shit. That was the,
When
that
when
was the
when
most
you are
amazing.
fasting, you don't when you are fasting for 3 days, you don't think of a piece of meat.
No,
You're
man.
thinking of a watermelon, of an
Yes.
apple, or
Yeah, man.
something watery. You want
Yeah,
water,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So,
That was amazing to me. That I was really like, I was craving fruit. Like, that was the only thing on my mind. I was like, man, it would be nice to eat an orange right now.
yeah, exactly. And this is what I learned abundance about this. Actually, with urine therapy plus fasting, I realized how abundant we are. Because when you are not eating for 3 days, and one apple would make you the happiest man on earth, it's just one apple, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
wow. And yeah, we live in an abundant world. It's just our mentality that think we are in a lack what in a lack state, but no, we really have abundance of everything we need.
yeah. So, let me sum it up a little bit. So you said, because you're doing all these projects, and your company, I suspect, is taking a lot of your time, right? So what would your daily routine be like? Like, how do you map your day?
Yep. So yeah, my days, like I wake up, like I try to wake up early, like around 8. I drink all the urine I've been collecting during the night. Then I go to the gym for.
Do
I'm
you
not.
pee? Do you pee through the night? Do you pee in the night?
Yeah. Like twice sometimes, and I collect it. I don't drink it because if I drink it, then I stop. I just wake up and I cannot drink, sleep. So I normally once or twice. This is happening now. It depends the periods because I've been changing my diet, but now this is my routine. So my routine is this. Then after drinking my urine, I feel like I'm hydrated. I go to the gym for not so much, like 45 minutes, 1 hour. I just do like simple routines. And then I start working. I start working until lunchtime, but lunchtime in Spain is like 2:30, like, and then I go eat. Perhaps I have a little nap and then I work more in the afternoon, or I rather after the nap I tend to do music in the afternoon. So I play music during the morning. I work into my company. I eat, sleep a little bit, and then I play music. This is my normal routine. I do, and I also do a lot of walks. I like to walk a lot. Like I live in the mountains, so I just go
Nice.
and have walks.
And
Yeah.
how is your evening winding down situation?
So the evenings are hard for me because I don't know. I just meditate basically, and right now I have nothing to do. I don't watch TV, for example, and so right now I can actually, yeah, I with I'm gonna show it to you. So it's funny because I'm in this new house which I'm building now. So I have here a fireplace, and you see the yoga mat.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit there
Nice.
next to the fire and
Nice.
think about my work. I'm actually working all the time because my work is not only staying on the computer. I work is thinking, and then I go to the computer when I okay, I need to do this. I need to send this email to this person. I need to do that. So this is going. My evenings are like this. I mean, I live in a town of 100 inhabitants, and it's 1 hour from.
100.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, 100. I mean, now it's night. Let me see. During the day, it's nicer. We can see the mountains.
Wow.
Let's see. Oh, it's hard, but it's like small houses.
Yeah,
like
wonderful.
this. You see, there are two cars there. One, the blue is mine.
Yeah.
So it is my life in this place.
Wow.
And yeah, I just bought this house like a week ago.
Wow! Congratulations! Congratulations!
Thank you.
Wonderful.
So I am new here.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I decided to. Yeah, I mean, I've been living, as you know, I've been living in Rotterdam. I've been living in Amsterdam. Yeah. I was in Hong Kong for 5 weeks. Next on Wednesday, I'm going to London for a week. I travel a lot because of my company. I go to these conferences. But when I come home, I want to stay here. So my days is changing. Now I told you this routine now, but it's changing all the time. Yeah. Every week for me is kind of different.
Of course. And would you be willing to share I don't know, is there something that you're recently struggling with, and how are you overcoming that situation? Or yeah.
No, man. Yeah, let's talk about this. No, I'm in the struggle. I used to struggle a lot. I used to. No, man, I don't struggle anymore. I flow. I use this manifesting. Just think of positive. I just positive. When something is wrong, when something is bad for me, I stop eating. So the only struggle I have is eating less. I want to eat less. It's the only struggle I have. Then the rest of the life just flow. For me, life is flowing. I mean, I can say to you that this house I have now, it was a dream 5 years ago when I was in the Netherlands. I was like, man, I want to live in Rotterdam. I want to go into the mountains and the nature. And it happened. And a lot of things happen. Also with my company, right now is going well after many years of struggling with life loop. Now I'm starting to, I don't work for anybody else. So my life just flow. And I do believe it's because of consistency. I believe it's because I believe into myself and I have a vision. I just go for that. And the thing with the health helps, and the spirituality also helps. Meditation is push when you understand how the world works and how the body works. Yeah, I don't struggle. My struggle is, I want to eat less. This is my only struggle.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks.
Yeah.
And do you have a saying or a quote that often comes to your mind, or that you keep coming to, or yeah, that keeps
Yes,
appearing?
yes, I love this. I mean, the last two questions I love. Yes. So listen to your soul, govern your mind, control your body.
Wow. Listen to your soul, govern your mind, control your body.
If you learn how to do this, you know, from the soul to the mind to the body, not because most people, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. It's just respond to the body. Oh, I want sex, I'm gonna that. It's like, no, man. What is the soul saying? Because the soul is always saying the truth. Your heart is always saying the truth. When you, okay, why I don't struggle? Why? Because I listen to my heart. Everything. Sometimes you have decisions in your life. You have, I have this job that is making money. Or no, but man, I mean, I had this decision when I quit my 5,000K job in Netherlands as an engineer to do a master's in music. Man, my mind was saying, everybody, hey man, how are you gonna quit your job? You are an engineer, you're making money, you have your house, you have your girlfriend, everything was done. But my soul was like, man, you have to make music. Yeah, and this was in my 30s. In my 30s, I changed this. I quit my job, I did music, and since then, I always do what my soul says or my heart says. And your heart always tells you the truth. And even if you think, oh, I need to make money, I need to do this to make money. Even if you think you need to go to this decision because it's good for you, in the long term, it's not. In the long term, when you listen to your heart, you will manifest the future you want, which is what is happening to me now. Now because I'm listening to my heart for a very long time. Now I'm manifesting the life I want, and actually I have the life I want. I live in this house in the mountains. I go traveling all the world, going to conferences. I'm in the music industry. I'm not actually making music, playing a lot now, but because I know it's a period. I'm building this company, but I know in the future I will go back to the music thing. I mean, until now I didn't have a space. Now in the house I'm building a studio, so when I have the studio, then I can again make music.
Yeah.
So this is listen to your soul, man.
Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. And I'm so happy for you that you're achieving all these things. And I really, wow. Yeah, I salute you, man. It's great to hear stories of success, and especially when they're coming from a pure heart. I think that's something. I have one friend of mine, and he would always say, and he also says this, just listen to your heart, and he says it in a way also, like God is everywhere, in the sense that like gifts are everywhere, like you just have to see the gifts, but they are all around you. And when you open
Yeah,
your heart, and he always says, like, just open your heart, and things will appear very clearly where you have to be.
God speaks to you through the heart. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't tell you words. It tells you with heart. Every decision of your life, your heart knows if it's right or not.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about
Yeah.
it. Your right, your heart knows. And
Yeah.
when you do this, immediately you just become happy because you are aligned to yourself. You are aligned to yourself, and you are becoming yourself, and not copies like the society. You see copy paste people.
Yeah.
And when you do through your heart, you really become more authentic, and you can really thrive more in life. I do believe. So this is like, I think this is the best. I mean, it sounds simple. It sounds like, yeah, everybody tells you this, but man, do it and you will see how your life changes.
And I also think that your ego then dissolves a substantial amount, right? When you, or how do you then see this ego heart conversation? Does it sometimes come?
Yeah. Well, this is another interesting subject. Yeah, actually, well, I want to say that I'm a very big fan of the ego. Like everybody say, oh, the ego, no ego. No, I mean, ego is your personality, ego is yourself. If we don't have egos, then you are nothing. But I think when you do this, it humbles the ego. Humbles the ego. It's not that the ego disappears; it humbles the ego.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bravo, I agree.
So
Yes, I
yeah,
agree on that one.
but I do believe that we have to have egos, and we have to have big egos, but we have to know how to control them.
Mm.
I mean, I have a big ego. I can say if I want, I have a very big ego. If I want, but if I want, I can also be very humble. It's going to depend on the situation, and it's a survival thing as well. I'm telling this because the new age spiritualist is like, oh, no ego, no ego. No, man, I was there. I resolved my ego many times. I also made a lot of plant medicines. We have not talked about this. This is another subject, but plant medicines that immediately dissolve your ego, and this amazing experience. But then you learn that the ego is good, but you just need to control it.
Yeah. And the insights of what you said, to have these plant medicines of no ego, I think it's good to see how you would be if you would have none, because the ego makes you. I found that sometimes, most of the time, the ego gives me pain, right? Like the ego gives my pain to my heart because my ego is used to something what is, what I've seen or what I encountered, and a collection of uh, of stuff that was around. But yeah, wow, it feels like we could talk for another 3 hours.
Yes, I know. Yes, it's really. I mean, and we could do a lot of chat, but well, we can do a session two sometime in the future.
We're gonna do the beta version. Also.
Yeah.
One last question: where can people find out more about you, about your projects? Where are you most active? If if they wanna.
Yeah, this is a funny question. I'm not, yeah. Actually, I don't know what to say about this. Okay, about my project, just. Oh, sorry, I should prepare that. Well, depends where. Are we talking about health? About health, I have a channel on Telegram that I talk about that, and I will share the links later if you want to post them.
Oh, that's
and
great.
then
I will put everything in the show notes.
Then I will put my website for Life Loop and Music Moon. So if you're a musician, you want to make music, you have Life Loop. If you want to make NFTs, you have Music Moon. I also will share those links. And my YouTube channel from Life Loop, where you can listen some of the music I make. I will share some link with you so you can follow. I don't have one specific place, and I used to have Instagram. I don't know if you notice, I'm not on Instagram anymore. I realized that it wasn't bringing me anything. I kept Facebook because in Facebook I have like a community, but yeah. Also, I will share Facebook if anybody wants to be in contact with me with Facebook. That will be fine as well.
Yeah, perfect. Well, dear Josep, on this note, I thank you from the depths of my heart to be the guest on the Sound Mind podcast. I think that the audience will love our conversation and your insights. And I wish you a great night in the mountains.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's keep in contact, and thank you very much for the invitation. And we keep in touch.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, feel free to share your thoughts and ideas on the topics we've discussed today in the comments, as well as any burning questions you might have for my future guests. I'm your host, Michael Hrustil, and until next time, I wish you a sound mind.